Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in. And my name is Matt, and I'm taking over the anime stream today to show you guys this routine that's playing right over here. And if possible, could we pause it as I describe sort of what we're going to be doing today? So I'm going to show you guys this quick routine that's going to help you guys strengthen your core and also target your cardiovascular system. And as an added benefit for us gamers, it can also help us with everything that is really important to us, our mechanical skill, our game sense, and of course, tilt management. And the way that it does that is it primarily through the intensity and how we structure this routine, it can stimulate the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, and also known as BDNF. But exercise of this structure and intensity has been shown to help with our motor learning, our memory, our hand-eye coordination, cognitive learning, and of course our mood, and all of that affects what I just mentioned: skill, mechanical skill, game sense, and tilt management. So it all comes down to things like helping us remember callouts in games, remembering past mistakes, and maybe even dealing with toxic teammates. So this exercise routine is going to be 3 rounds of time, meaning 3 rounds. So you guys try to finish this routine as quickly as possible. Minimum rest between the actual exercises. We're going to start with a plank toe touch, then front plank extensions, side plank abductions, single leg RDLs, the high knee run, single leg swing, and then ski jumps. And again, the goal with this routine is to run through each one with minimal rest. And yeah, let's see if we can start it from the top. So we have plank toe touch right here. There it is. And it's going to be helping strengthen your anterior core, so your abdominals, but also key muscles in your shoulder with that full plank position with the relative upward rotation during the toe touch. So for the nerds out there that want to know a little more about the actual muscle, it's your serratus anterior that's often inhibited when we're sitting for long periods of time. So to perform this exercise, you are assuming the full plank position, pushing all the way through to tap your foot. And if you don't have the range of motion, if your hamstrings are a little too stiff, then it's okay to touch your knees. Perform this 10 times on each side, and the goal is to get into that pike position at the end of the range. And as I said, not all of us will have the hamstring range of motion to touch our knees or to touch our toes, so it's okay to touch your knees. And so that is the first exercise. You guys can either run through it with me here and now, so you guys can run through the first entire series, or you guys can learn this entire routine, and then try it on your own. And if you guys do happen to try it, please tag us, tag Adamus, tag myself, tag Jake, and say, hey, I tried this, I feel great, I'm the best gamer in the world now. And we'll have it continue running through until the next exercise, which is, well, it's continuing to cycle through, I guess. But the next exercise is going to be front plank extensions. And yeah, we'll just wait for this video to move to the next exercise. But again, while we're on plank toe touches, if you guys have any questions, I can answer that. This is a pretty difficult, moderate to difficult level exercise. And again, it works our anterior core. I love this exercise because, again, we are sitting for such a long time, and often because of that, our abdominals are not working as much and some of the exercises later on are going to help target some of these other important muscle groups like our glutes and our abdominal bracing muscles, the natural corset that stabilizes our spine. Yeah, let's let's bring it back to full speed. Thanks for slowing it down. There we go. Boom. It's back to full speed. Thank you guys. So yeah, now this is me just running through it. Appreciate you guys bearing us here. But yes, this is me doing a lot of repetitions here. So yeah, as you can see, I'm getting a little tired. Now we're on the front plank extensions. This is the next exercise. It's another core exercise, and actually has been shown to provide a high amount of glute activation. And I would say it's probably in the top 5 of the MVIC, or the actual measurement of glute activation during movements, second to hip thrust and single leg squats. But it's important for us gamers because it helps to address both our abdominal bracing muscles and our glutes, because as I said earlier, it tends to be inhibited when we are sitting and inactive for such a long period of time. So you guys want to be performing 10x of those. And this next exercise is called the side plank abductions, and I think it's going a little fast, but yeah, this one is important to work on muscles to our side. So our obliques, of course, our glute medius muscle, which is often implicated in a lot of knee pain, even hip and foot pain as well. And gamers often have poor control or strength in this muscle when they go out to play basketball, soccer, and other traditional sports. There's an increased risk of experiencing this knee pain or hip pain or foot pain. So then that's why it's important for us to work on that glute medius muscle, or that side muscle. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna let it reset and catch up so that I can help you guys understand a little more about front plank extensions, which is the second exercise, and then I'll finish up with this third side plank abduction. Appreciate you guys dealing with this. It's basically, we're running through it again. So now we're back on the front plank extension. And so this again helps address abdominal bracing muscles, our glute muscles. To perform it, start in that front plank position, bend one knee up, lift that hip up towards the ceiling, and then repeat 10 times on each side. And you should be feeling it in your butt. Yeah, feels good, feels great. And again, this is important because we are sitting for so long, especially right now during the quarantine, and our abdominal and glute muscles tend to become inhibited. So we need to work on activating those. And now we're moving on to number 3. Again, the side plank abductions are obliques, are hip abductors or glute med muscles. Again, implicated in hip, knee, foot pain when you're doing day-to-day or sports or functional related activities. You'll be performing 10. I want you guys to prop yourselves up on your elbow from your shoulders down to your feet in a straight line, then lift your hips up. And using the leg on top, you're going to bring your leg up and out. And if it's too hard for you, you can bend your knee as I show right there, because that reduces the moment arm and it's a little easier for you to maintain your hip up. And again, 10 times each side. The next one we're going to be doing is more posterior chain work of our glutes, hamstrings, and lower back muscles, since a lot of us are in this rounded position and need to strengthen in order to be able to sit up for longer periods of time. So you want to be doing 10 times on each side, keeping your shoulder down to your toes straight like a plank. So you're just bending at your hips and touching the ground, and you should feel it in your hamstrings and lower back. And it also helps with a little bit of balance, but so do the next 2, which are going to be starting to activate or target the cardio, or target your cardiovascular system and increase your heart rate, and also begin to work towards producing that BDNF. So again, this is your single leg RDL or Romanian deadlift 10 times on each side. This is the exercise number 4, as you can see above. And number 5 is going to be the very first heart rate elevating movement. Pretty straightforward. It's going to be the high knee run. And as I mentioned above, it's going to help you guys stimulate the production of BDNF, which will help with mood management, stress tolerance, and all you're going to be doing is running in place, trying to bring your knees up to the level of your hips with the driving portion of the movement, bringing your knees up. So focus more on that during each part of the repetition. And you're going to perform this 30 times and work with moderate to higher intensity to really help your heart rate elevate, help you target more of that cardiovascular system. Then next up, we have the single leg swing. And this one's more balance and control, so be safe, don't fall. Start on one foot, lean forward with one leg behind you. Swing so that you get into that hop, like me over here. And here's what it looks like from the side. And you're just doing 20 times on each side. And actually, I really love incorporating some balance movements because of how it stimulates or works to target the cerebellum. And that actually is something that I want to explore a lot more in esports performance because it can also help with fine motor coordination. So I think there's some cross training there that I want to explore. But that leads me to another balance and more dynamic exercise called the ski jump. And it looks like you're skiing. So again, please be safe. Don't jump too far side to side. You want to jump and land in this single squat position, stopping that lateral or rotational momentum with your glute and your core, and land and hold for about 1 to 2 seconds. Push off and repeat on the other side 20 times. And that's all 7 of these exercises. You're going to be performing 3 rounds as quickly as possible. Post the time that it takes you to finish. It should burn, based on my Apple Watch, 180 to 220 calories if it takes you between 15 to 20 minutes. But everyone's different in their level of fitness, so don't expect it to always fall in that range. That's just something general for you guys to reference when you guys try it for yourselves. And anyways, thank you guys for watching that primary exercise walkthrough portion of this video. This whole VOD will still be on the Adamish Twitch stream, so you guys can reference it. You guys can cycle through it 3 times. Again, the whole routine is your plank toe touch, your front plank extensions, your side plank abduction, single leg RDLs, your high knee run, single leg swing, and your ski jumps. And the repetitions are at the top. Tag us with how it feels. Tag us with how you feel afterwards. Make sure you're safe. Don't be jumping over things. Land in a controlled way for all the exercise. And again, thank you guys for tuning into this mini exercise feature. I'm gonna now let it be this sort of ask me anything AMA portion of the stream. I can answer questions about anything. How long my hair's been. It's pretty long right now. What I've been doing to keep myself healthy. Really any questions that you guys might have relating to health, or maybe what I do, or anything, just so that you guys can stay healthy, because that's what we're about. We want to keep everyone healthy as a gamer. We want to make sure that our community, both professional and the casual, and of course the competitive community stays healthy, to get this trickle up, trickle down effect. So don't be shy. You can ask away, and maybe we can just shift over. Yep, perfect. Read my mind. Thank you, stream manager. You're the best. Now it's my full face. Okay, we got a question from Esport Trainer. I've never seen that name before. What's the easiest way to improve my posture while gaming? Okay, I love this question. There's a lot of depth to the posture question. And I think the best way to understand posture first is to just think a little bit more about what posture is. You guys can think of how we position our bodies is really the sum of the positions and postures and movements that we assume throughout the day. We are the sum of all of those combined. So if we're sitting like this the whole day, you better believe there's going to be some adaptive changes in our pec, in our shoulder muscles, in our neck. And that's going to lead to continued and this cycle of poor posture, which is why one key thing that is not really mentioned often when we talk about posture is behavior. Behavior is super, super important as it relates to improving posture. Yes, we can address posture and improve posture by performing exercises like a lot of the ones that I post on my TikTok or YouTube. Those are helpful because it helps us develop control, develop strength to maintain this better position. So number one, let's do 3 things. Number one, you have to understand what good posture is. For us, the upper body posture we have to realize is chest up, tuck your chin slightly back, and you bring your shoulders back. Not bring your shoulders back and down, because a lot of the times when we bring it down, or a lot of the times our shoulders are already too low because of this rounded position, and that can place extra stress if we give people the cue to bring it down. So just think about chest up, chin tuck, shoulders back. Those are the 3 things you need to remember for upper body posture. And then moving on to number 2, we got to do exercises. So looking at some of the videos, maybe we can post a link in the chat. But just I have a posture routine on my YouTube, or I have 1HP hashtag 1HP posture on TikTok. There's all the exercises that you guys can just combine, mix, and create your own posture routine. Those help you maintain the position. And then number 3, the most important thing you have to remember is behavior. Let's leverage some behavioral science to actually improve your posture. And what I mean by that is use certain anchors in your day. Every single time you want to get up or drink water, you check your posture. So drinking water, you remind yourself of the 3 things. Every single time you see a results screen, when you win a game, you check your posture. So that over time, you're creating these anchors throughout the day. Like if you walk through a doorway, you improve your posture. You will gradually see the change from rounded to bringing it back, and that's more sustainable than just saying, "Hey, you need to sit upright and try to force yourself to do that 5 hours in the first 3 days." It's more realistic to help us change and improve your posture. So, I know that was pretty long-winded, but that is the way and framework for how I like to help people improve their posture. Yeah. Can you do a 1v1? Oh, yo, I'm down. Halo 2 lockout. I mean, Jake, should we set this up? Let's go. We'll see. Well, let's make this happen. I'm totally down for a 1v1. I'm a gamer, guys. I'm a gamer. Jake's a gamer too. We're big gamers, so I'm always down for 1v1s. Yeah. We'll have a little 1v1 Olympic. Right? We play on his home turf on Halo. Then we can play CS and play Fortnite, whatever. While running on a treadmill. I mean, should we? I mean, yeah. Let's get one of those seat cycles and just oh man. Okay, yeah. Well, oh, great question. A lot of pain in your forearms. You get a lot of pain in your forearms when you play. What can you do to help with that? So again, another great question. It really depends on where you're feeling the pain, right? And if you feel pain on the front, if you feel pain here, if you feel pain directly at your wrist or the base of your wrist, those all influence the type of exercise that I typically prescribe. But I'll go over something that I see more common, right? There is definitely a lot of pain patterns that exist over here on the front side. But what I've seen more typically with FPS games, since you're a Halo player, is pain along the top side of your forearm, right? And these are the muscles that are responsible for moving the mouse, lifting up, moving the mouse, picking up your index and middle finger. So pain is developed when we don't have the tissue capacity to handle the repeated actions that we are performing on a daily basis with gaming the 10 to 12, gaming the 6 to 8, however many hours that you play on a regular basis. We don't have the conditioning to handle that. And that's something that I always mention. We need to have the conditioning to support our lifestyle, to be able to handle whatever it is that we do, right? If we work with piano players or if we work with guitarists, they also need to have the wrist and hand conditioning to be able to tolerate their repeated key pressing or repeated strumming of their strings or maintenance of the tabs or whatever for the upper extremity or hand or finger activity. For us gamers, it's being able to move the mouse, being able to press WASD. So conditioning is number one, and you have to do exercises with that. Things that you guys can do at home. I have a soup can here ready. I expected this question. Okay, anyways, but what you guys can do easily with a soup can at home is just hold it, open grip, meaning you don't have to put your thumb over it, you put your thumb on top. Chest up, you can support yourself if there's an armrest here, and just bring it up like this. You want to do high volume, so I would say 4 sets of 25. 3 or 2 times a day, once in the morning, once at night. That will help you build up endurance and address pain here, so that helps with tissue capacity. Number 2, you have to work on your posture too. A lot of the time, how we hold the mouse, some people hold it like this when they pick it up. Some people hold it like this when they pick it up. And that was something that I worked on with a professional CSGO player. He held it like this in ulnar deviation. And because of that, he began to overutilize his extensor carpi ulnaris, or one of the tendons here. And that causes pain. So being very mindful of your posture and ergonomics is key to how much and what muscles you use. Shoulder position is also another important part of posture because of the connections of fascial tissue or thin tissue between some of the muscles and along your forearm all the way up to your shoulder. If you have your shoulders back, the muscles here actually fatigue a little more slowly. So that's why shoulders back. And then lastly, I would say you need to pay attention to your schedule, take breaks, do some stretches after your gaming session or in between your games, whenever you have time, like in between a game, hit it here, boom, 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 boom. And that again is for the top of the wrist or top of the forearm. So that's what I always reference as the big 3: conditioning, posture ergonomics, and schedule or load management to allow you to tolerate your X amount of hours of play or Valorant grind. What teams do I work with, and what do you work on with? Yes, so right now I am esports medicine and performance staff for CLG and LA Gladiators, and I also consult for quite a few other teams. But what I primarily do is help develop and build infrastructure for performance and health. So my main goal for working with any team is to build some structures like regular exercise program, player health standards, an injury assessment or initial evaluation to see where they are in terms of how they move, what's their baseline endurance, what's their baseline mobility, what's their baseline coordination, and then establish an individualized goal to help them improve that over time. And I also, because I'm a strength and conditioning specialist, a CSCS, I also help those who want to work on maybe their nutrition or maybe their mindset. And on the performance end, there are key structures that I like to implement with teams. It really is dependent on the game title, but it might be things like, hey, having a regular pregame, having load management in mind when scheduling practice, or having an understanding of cognitive or physical load and working with the coaches to make better decisions based on that kind of data. So there's a lot of things that I want to and am continuing to work to build with the teams that I work with to help them have more long-lasting benefits or long-lasting structure that if I leave, they can still stay healthy. And hopefully the goal is to have it be spread and a standard across every team that I work, every team in esports, and trickle down to collegiate teams. I have worked with some collegiate teams as well before, or worked with some of the support staff for collegiate teams that to help them shape their programs similar to what I do with the pros. Hey, Amberglow Yoga. I love this question. So many people in our community use energy supplements and what are my suggestions for healthy or gaming healthy energy. I can't stress enough the foundations of gaming, which are sleep, regular exercise, nutrition, and then being mindful of your own recovery. Right? All four of those go a really, really long way in helping you maintain energy throughout the day, throughout your gaming session. But not only that, incorporating regular habits around your gaming blocks or gaming sessions can literally make all the difference in feeling grungy, feeling lack of focus, feeling like your eyes need to refocus or everything seems zoomed out. You have this eye fatigue. Doing small exercises here and there, and you plan for it, or if you exercise regularly, you have overall more energy. You eat to support your X amount of hours. You sleep your 7 to 8 hours or 8+ hours to make sure that you can handle your entire day's worth of cognitive load or cognitive effort. Those go an extremely long way. I understand the need and the desire to use and supplement because of the increased dopamine response that we feel with it, right? We have this almost euphoric response when we use coffee, when we use game fuel, when we use whatever, glitch energy, anything to, or even a monster, to feel like, hey, I'm on point again. I can aim well. I can think more clearly. And if you just give yourself time to establish the foundation, which I know it's so easy for me to preach, but if you actually give it a chance, if you actually try for 3 or for an entire week of optimizing your better understanding your own thoughts to manage stress better, because if you don't, you overload yourself in day-to-day situations a little more cognitively. And then also, those are the 3 S's for me: stress management, sleep, and social engagement. If you handle those on top of the foundational health things I spoke about, those can all help you improve your regular energy. And I would say it's not bad to use coffee. It's not bad to use energy. Um, a lot of the energy drinks have sugar and some other factors that might maybe downregulate certain hormones, but I would say if you use things in moderation, that's fine too. But don't skimp on your basic or foundational health factors: sleep, nutrition, exercise, and recovery. Use that as a baseline first, and then again, really use it as a supplement, not a stimulant. I hope I answered that question, but that's what I would recommend. And I don't tell the pros that I work with that are hooked on it to immediately, hey, you have to stop, because I understand why they use it, why they need it, why they're trying to maybe wean off of it. My goal is to help them see that they can have the same level of energy and use it really as just a supplement. Because my goal is to help them change their behavior, which is not reach for the can when they're tired, but think differently about what did I do that might have led to this lack of energy. So those are the ultimate goals with what I'm trying to achieve when I work with someone. I don't want to immediately just shut them down and say, hey, you can't do this anymore, but just say, hey, like, it's okay to do this now. Maybe consider why you're tired in the first place, because we're just addressing the source cause, and we're addressing the lack of energy, but we're not really addressing the cause of the lack of energy, which again is always sleep, exercise, nutrition, and recovery. Yeah, hope that answered that question. If we don't have any other questions, I'll leave some more time, but I have time. All right, I'm here. I got dressed up, buttoned up, put my nice glasses in my hair. So I'll leave some more time for questions, but hope you guys have the opportunity to try the workout. It's kind of fun. I actually have been creating them every week, probably 2 or 3 of them, and it's part of my PPM program, or push pull movement, that you guys can just do at home. So I'm going to do a little plug here for that. It's a home workout program for anyone that wants to have sort of a regular movement-based calisthenic program. You do need some small stuff like a pull-up bar, but you can always make do with certain things. And if you guys check it out, that is something that I've posted quite recently on my Twitter. You guys can reach out to me if you guys can't find it. And yeah, I think that is all, unless there's any more final question. Oh, here. Ooh, this is a great question. So, question by Siege Louis J. How would you recommend managing energy levels for gaming after a full day of mentally taxing work? This is probably the number one thing, right? Because most gamers like me, I'm a boomer now. Right, we go to work. I used to do this, so I totally understand. I used to go to work, treat 16 to 18 patients a day, come back from my clinic, and then I would play CSGO competitively. And that probably is the lifestyle of many gamers currently in this time. So how do we approach that without leveraging or reaching for the can or reaching for another cup of coffee, because that will affect your sleep? One thing that I would typically recommend is you need to have a wind down time. Please do not, as you get home, immediately jump onto the game and just start hustling, because you need to have a short period where you are mentally recovering, giving yourself really a mental break and allowing yourself to feel a little restored before you actually get into what would be a cognitively taxing gaming session. And it also really depends on how intense the gaming session is going to be. Understanding that, hey, there are some people that will want to play competitively, and if there are people that are also playing casually. It all depends on your perspective and how you approach your gaming session. And we can start with talking about the casual gamers first, right? If you are coming home, you do an 8-hour day, 10-hour day, you give yourself a break, do some exercises. That's a really great way to help reset or restore, provide some restorative, cognitive energy. That's a really great option. Do some meditation, eat, get some fuel. You want to do a mini fueling session, and you can think of that as eating, exercise. Even a little power nap could help. And if you're a casual gamer, then I think that recovery period becomes less important, because gaming to some people is a way to wind down. It is a way to, hey, I'm not just going to be too serious when I'm playing. I'm just going to relax, hang out with my friends. And that is restorative in nature for you, because you are getting this social engagement with your friends, catching up. You're able to, have some moments and opportunities for empathy by speaking and talking to your friends. So for casual gamers, I think it makes sense to not really have to incorporate that recovery or mini power session. But for competitive gamers, I do think it's important. You should take a power nap. You should do a cardio-based routine like the one I just posted to give yourself some restorative energy. You should be eating, because you are expected to have a lot of cognitive effort. And then, you leverage that as a way to have energy throughout your day afterwards, after you get home from work. Hopefully I was able to answer your question if you fell into one of those categories. If you have any follow-up questions, happy to answer, or if I left out anything, please let me clarify. We'll do this one last question. How do I lose weight if I hate lettuce and physically cannot ingest broccoli? I like this question because somehow you read that I need to have the traditional bodybuilder broccoli diet, chicken breasts, maybe rice, maybe brown rice, in order to lose weight, or maybe like work on your fitness gains. You don't have to always, vegetables are 100% important, but it doesn't have to be lettuce or broccoli. Broccoli is a great option, but I would say anything that's dark leafy, leafy greens are a great option. Spinach, asparagus, any other like kale, half and half blends of salad. Really, any greens that are deeply colored are really great options for you to one, be full, but in general, losing weight is not just about eating greens. It is about understanding your calories in, calories out, and restricting your calories a little bit um, on a weekly basis to gradually lose weight. And I would say, as a general framework, there's two basic ways. There's a lot of nuance to it to help approach losing weight. Intermittent fasting is a great option just because it ultimately does help you have caloric restriction. And that just means eating from a 12 to 8 window, 2 meals only. And then in general, caloric restriction, understanding what your weight is, understanding how many calories you consume just by doing what you do on a regular basis. On average, 21 to 2300, and then you cut that back to maybe 17 to 1800, and only eat that amount for 5 to 6 days a week, and then have a cheat day for yourself one day of the week, not only to help with compliance or help you stick with a regular diet, but it also helps prevent the down regulation of hormones that happen with extended periods of caloric restriction. So that if you do that, you will probably lose 1 to 2 pounds of fat / muscle a week. And yeah, so caloric restriction, intermittent fasting, there's a lot more depth that we can go into that. But in general, how you can structure your plates or your meals are, you always have veggies, you always have a healthy amount of protein, and then you still need your carbs. Carbs aren't the enemy. It's what type of carbs that you consume. The white ones, sugar, higher glycemic index, not just it really depends on, I guess, glycemic load or what you're eating. But yeah, if you cannot ingest broccoli, go for maybe its best friend, cauliflower or Brussels sprouts or spinach or half and half blend or asparagus, or if you're Asian, get that A Thai, yeah, or bok choy. Yeah, before we end, I just want to make sure, Siege and Bon, did I answer you guys' question? Will that suffice, my friends? Brussels sprouts are the best. I love. Oh, broccolini. Maybe you should hit up broccolini. The baby. Well, it's not broccoli, but it's different. It's good. It's good stuff. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you guys. I will. Oh, you're a Smash player. Yes. Then definitely do that. Smash is high load, high intensity, and yeah, it is definitely something that you can consider in between work and in between your net play options. Yeah. Hey, thank you guys so much. I'm probably gonna be streaming more. I love doing these things. I love answering questions. I'm gonna work out pretty soon now. I'm really lucky, guys. I'm really lucky. I'll just tell you guys. I have access to my wife's gym because she's also a physical therapist. So, I go over there to work out. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys have a chance to try the workout. And if you guys have any questions, tag me on Twitter. Hit me up. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of my big TV over here. What do you guys think of my glasses? And let us know what you guys thought about this stream, because if it went well, if you guys enjoyed it, we'll do it again. Thanks, Jake, for being here, being in the background. Thanks, Cheery, for also being there. And that is all. Bye, guys.